Hey there. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Plan B Success. We have Jubee Vilceus with us today, all the way from Maryland. Jubee is the founder of Yellowtail Tech. I'm curious why the name, an IT career genie. What he does is he helps people get into tech careers. You may have experience, you may not have experience, you may be computer literate or not. He'll find a way of getting you to step up and get into that IT community out there. So let's find out how he does it. So welcome, Jubee.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here today to talk about something that's in everybody's life now, which is technology. So I'm always happy to talk about that.
Absolutely. So before we get into that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Your background, what you did, what got you to where you are today.
Yes, definitely. So I went to the University of Maryland to study business, just business. And as I was in my first semester, I met a friend, and he told me, do you know about this career track that's called Management Information System? I didn't even know what that was. So basically, it's a career track that combines business and information technology management. So I was very intrigued about that, and luckily my school had a track for MIS, which is Management Information System. So I decided to go that route. But after my training, after getting a degree, I realized I still need very specific knowledge to go to the market and actually add value from day one to any company. So that's when I went to the route of trying to get specialized knowledge in an area called Linux, which is a different operating system that's mostly used in enterprise environment. Once I did that, I realized not only it's very lucrative, but there is a great need. And it's like an open secret because not a lot of people have the skill and certification to get the jobs, but there's always jobs. There's literally always 3 to 4 times more jobs than people ready and trained to take them. So after a few years, I decided to go down the route of training people specifically in that area and help them get into the industry. And 2 years into my business, I looked back at people I trained and who were successful. I realized that I had more success with people with no IT background. So this is when we decided to specifically focus on people with no IT background to help them do that transition. Because a lot of people, yes, they have a degree, they sometimes are in a career they enjoy, but they're just ready for a career change for many reasons, including the fact that with IT, you sometimes you can choose not to commute, you can choose your hours, and sometimes it's just for a change. They've been doing what they've been doing something for a long time, and they're just ready for a change. So that's what we do all day. We help people with no IT background break into the IT industry.
So let me ask you this question. There's a big debate about, whether college is necessary anymore or not at the undergrad level. With a lot of these changes that we see in IT, and a lot of companies really saying, "Hey, don't really care about what your academic background is, uh, as long as you can, pick up the skills and run with it. We're ready to offer you a job." What's your take on it? Do you think it's important to go to college or not?
Well, it's a tricky question to answer because it depends on what you are optimizing for. If you are optimizing for a job immediately to get into the industry, I don't think it's necessary. If you are interested in the humanities part that college offers, or the camaraderie that you build as you go to college, the campus life that you enjoy, and that's very interesting as a young person, yes, you should still go to college. But if you are just optimizing for the job, and also the other thing someone has to consider is what career track are you choosing? If you are going to school to become a physician or a lawyer, yes, you still have to go to college. But if you're choosing something more technical like IT, from what we've been seeing lately, you absolutely don't need bachelor's or master's degree to get into this industry. In fact, now they don't even look at that. They don't even consider it. They go straight to what it is you can offer us today to help us advance our our mission in the company.
So you have two companies here, right? So IT Career Genie and Yellowtail. Can you tell us about both?
No, no, no. It's only Yellowtail Tech.
Okay.
IT Career Genie is I don't know about this company,
Okay.
but we do run Yellowtail Tech, which is just focused on helping people break into the industry. And what we do is we only have two programs. So we take out the guesswork and we track you from day one. You understand what's the plan, where are you trying to get with it, and most importantly, what's going to be your job title and what it is you're going to be doing and helping these companies achieve. So our service is very focused.
Why the name Yellowtail?
Well, it's actually funny. When I met my wife, this is the first thing we had in common, which is a wine called Yellowtail. We both love that wine. And then we decided to call the company Yellowtail because this is the first thing when we met we had in common. It's just,
Awesome.
um, something we could share as we grow this company. My wife is also the co-founder of the company, so we run it together.
That's pretty neat. So how do how do you find these people that are looking to make those career changes? 9 out of 10 times, there are people that even that won't even know that this is possible or that they want to do this. So how do you find them, or how do they find you?
In fact, well, I actually disagree. People usually know they want a change.
Hmm.
And sometimes they even know they want to change into IT, but they are searching. They are looking for what's the best way. And um, often we end up working with people who've tried before and failed. They've either went the route of self-paced courses, or they went on Udemy trying to teach themselves, or they tried to go back to college and go to a program that's similar to what they already have, which is a degree, a second degree, which is the worst thing you could do trying to break into this industry. So our advertisement is usually targeted towards people who are already in the search, who are just trying to find something specific that speaks directly to them. So it's actually very easy to find these people because a lot of people out there. You wouldn't imagine how many people are in search of a different career.
And how do you do this? Like, are you using social media or
Yes, we use a combination of social media, search ad on Google, YouTube. We advertise on YouTube. For example, a lot of people are just looking on YouTube. And they are typing these very words, how to get into IT. So if someone is typing those words, we have our advertisement show up in front of them saying, hey, it seems that you are looking to make a career change. So these are the ways we advertise towards to people who are already in the search, because it's the easiest group of people to talk to because they already know. Because one thing we say is we are not in the business of convincing you to change career. We are in the business of helping you do that if you already chose or decided to do that.
okay? And then how long has Yellowtail been in existence?
Yeah, we're going on 8 years now.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. And how has that journey been so far?
It's been amazing. It's been a crazy ride since 2020, though. Before 2020, we used to be exclusively on campus, and then after 2020, we are now exclusively online. So what it happened, what it did is it opened a big market. It opened the whole United States as a market. So um, our company has quadrupled since 2020 in terms of people we are able to serve and help get a job. So yeah, it's going well in general.
So, what's been your experience with this when people look at changing careers and getting into the IT sector? Do you see a lot of them going down the coding path, or more the non-coding kind of roles within technology?
Um, I think they mostly go the coding path. Although we don't offer we are not a coding bootcamp. We are more at the operating system level. So maybe your question is, do they go the technical or the non-technical path? Is
Exactly.
that what you mean?
Yeah.
Um, I think it's equally attractive to go the non-technical part in terms of becoming a scrum master, project manager, or something more a little bit more design oriented like UX UI design. um, I think it's a 50-50 split. Some people like something more are looking for something more challenging, more technical, because they probably, by the way, I train people who are nurses, who were psychologists. So people like that, they are eager for something completely different, something that's super technical, that they can really have a career change that's very obvious to them. So these people, they usually go the very technical route. So it depends on what is the motivation for the change. And also, it depends on which option was shown to them. That's very important as well, because people usually go with what they see and their environment has been successful. If they know the neighbor changed career and went into IT and they were doing, I don't know, um, system administration, they tend to go with that route. So it's not necessarily what they want, it's what they see is successful around them. That's usually how they decide to go about it.
That's pretty awesome. And what about the changing dynamics of the landscape, right? Technology evolves so quickly, and nowadays there's a lot around Web 3.0, crypto, metaverse, NFTs. What have you seen in terms of people? Are there people that show up and say, "Hey, I've never been in IT, but I want to jump into coding for a crypto company," for instance?
One thing you mentioned in the beginning, I want to talk about is that there needs to be a minimum requirement for us to be able to work with you. You
Right.
have to have the minimum computer literacy. So that's one thing we always try to figure out. Once that's figured out, the way we go about it is when someone comes to us, we understand, first of all, what's their motivation, because sometimes it's only money, because they just want to make more money. If that's the only motivation, this is the wrong way to go about it, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time in front of the screen, so you have to enjoy it. So now you need to understand, what do you enjoy doing more of? Do you enjoy researching things? Do you enjoy actually coding things? Do you enjoy supporting customers? So these are the questions we ask to try to track them in the right direction. And sometimes the right direction is away from our company. It's towards another offering that's more specific. For example, if someone tells me, I want to be part of that crypto revolution, I want to be part of that Web 3.0 revolution, I have to track you somewhere else, because this is not our area of expertise, you see. So this is what our career our enrollment advisors do, is to understand what are the motivation, what are the interests. And some people are very determined to get into cybersecurity, for example. We don't train for that, you see. but we have great recommendations for where they can find great cybersecurity training to get into the industry, because there's a million ways. One thing I want people to understand, there are multiple very valid ways to get into the industry. So if you know exactly what area you are interested in, we can help guide you there.
Do you believe that it's a different kind of a mindset or coaching techniques for the technical versus non-technical roles in IT? What's your take on that?
Yes, definitely. For non-technical, you have to be very good with people. You have to be very good with getting people on around a consensus. You have to be willing to be dealing with a lot of different stakeholders. Some people they're not interested in that. They just want to work with the code. They just want to deliver um, the task or the ticket, how they use the word they use in our environment. But it depends on what is your personality. So these are the questions we ask as part of our initial conversation with our prospects. So it really has to do with the personality of the person.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about, you mentioned two programs that you run.
Yes.
Can you talk us through those?
Yes, we have our first program is Linux DevOps System Engineering. So that's our oldest program. And we also have AWS DevOps System Engineering. So Linux, it's a 6 month program, and the AWS one is a 9 month program. So one tracks you more to work in an environment that has its own servers, its own infrastructure. The other one tracks you in an environment where the company is leveraging cloud computing in general. Basically, infrastructure as code, what they call it, where they leverage a third-party infrastructure to build their own environment. So these are the two options we manage, and we are committed to focusing, at least for the near future, focusing on improving and building on this area, because this is our area of expertise, as opposed to trying to offer too many options to our prospects.
So for somebody, who's had a different career path and is looking to get into IT, what would you recommend as preparation before they come and meet somebody like you to help them through that journey?
So a few things we do. We have a computer literacy test, because that's one thing we need to get out of the way. Because it's important to have that minimum to be able to do this.
Do you
Second,
provide those
yes.
kinds of courses? Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. The second thing is understand what's the motivation. If the motivation is only to make more money, um, this we've seen that it doesn't take you far enough. Yes, you want to make more money, but you have to be excited about the process. You have to enjoy what you do in the process. And we also have a few um, warnings for people considering that. You're going to spend a lot of time with your computer, sitting down by yourself on a computer. You have to think about this, and you have to be comfortable with that idea. Yes, you can work from home uh, oftentimes, but it also implies you're going to be working alone oftentimes. So you really have to think about that and see if it's something that suits your personality and what you're trying to accomplish. So these are the things we try to figure out with prospects, understand their motivation.
And how do how do people reach out to you? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
The best way is to go to our website, yellowtail.tech, or look us up on Instagram, same handle, yellowtail.tech, or um, Facebook. It's usually yellowtail.tech. And yeah, they could learn more about the programs, understand who we cater to, understand how we deliver our programs, because our programs are intentionally slower, because we are catering to a group of people that are new to this industry. So we design our program specifically with someone with no IT background in mind. So these are the things we do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for helping us understand career paths and the possibility of somebody non-technical or non-IT being able to reach in and get into IT. And I think that's a great service that you guys are doing to be able to help smoothen that transition for a lot of people who are unaware that that's a possibility. So thanks so much, Jubee. Before I let you go, one takeaway for the listeners, anything that you'd like to share?
Yes. One takeaway is understand what's the motivation for wanting that career change. Don't let it only be about money, because we've seen that it's not a good way to decide how to get into a new career. So if everyone could take that away, I'll be happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and wish you the very best as you take this forward.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today in your show.